rebuilding after life breaks you. There comes a moment in life when everything you thought was solid crumbles beneath your feet. The plans you made fall apart. The people you trusted walk away. The dreams you held so tightly begin to fade into dust. And suddenly, you find yourself standing in the ruins of what once was, asking quietly, how do I start over? That's one of the hardest questions we ever face, because starting over isn't just about beginning something new. It's about letting go of what was. It's about accepting that some chapters end before we're ready. It's about finding the courage to rebuild, even when your hands are still shaking from what broke you. And that's what this message is about today, the courage to begin again. Because life will break you sometimes. That's not a prophecy, it's a promise. You'll face losses that take your breath away. You'll have plans that collapse without warning. You'll experience pain that makes you question everything, your strength, your worth, your purpose. But let me tell you something that has the power to change everything. Being broken is not the end of your story. It's the invitation to write a new one. You see, when life tears things apart, it's not always punishment. Sometimes it's preparation. Sometimes it's redirection. Sometimes it's life's way of saying, you've outgrown this version of yourself and it's time to rise into something greater. We often pray for growth, but growth never comes wrapped in comfort. Growth comes through release, through endings, through the moments that force us to rebuild from the ground up. Because when everything is stripped away, you're left with the most powerful thing you'll ever hold, truth. The truth of who you are, the truth of what really matters, the truth of how strong you actually are when there's nothing left to lean on but faith. And I know faith is hard when you can't see the path ahead. Faith is hard when you're surrounded by uncertainty. Faith is hard when your heart is shattered. But faith is not about knowing how. Faith is about trusting that somehow, even from the ashes, beauty will rise again. There is a sacred strength that only reveals itself in the rebuilding. You'll never know the depth of your resilience until you have to put your life back together piece by piece. You'll never know how much light you carry until you've walked through the darkest night. You'll never know how much power is within you until life gives you no other option but to rise. You are stronger than you think. You've survived storms that once made you doubt you'd make it through. You've endured heartbreaks that made you question your worth. You've cried silent tears that no one saw. But look at you. You're still standing. You're still here. And that means your story isn't over. The beautiful thing about beginnings is that they can happen at any moment. You don't have to wait for the new year, the right time, or anyone's permission. You can begin again now. You can decide that the pain of the past will not define the promise of your future. You can decide that your mistakes are not the end. They're the evidence that you're learning, growing, becoming. You can choose to start again with more wisdom, more grace, more strength. Because when you begin again after being broken, you love deeper. You appreciate more. You see life through softer eyes. You learn to value peace over approval, growth over comfort, and authenticity over perfection. You stop rushing, you stop forcing, you start allowing. And maybe that's what this season of your life is asking from you, to stop running from what hurt you and start learning from it, to stop clinging to what's gone and start building what's next, to stop waiting for the pain to disappear and start creating purpose from it. Because healing doesn't mean forgetting. Healing means transforming. Healing means taking what tried to break you and using it as the foundation for something beautiful. There will be days when it feels like you're not making progress, days when the weight of starting over feels too heavy. But let me remind you, you don't have to rebuild your life overnight. You just have to take the next small step, one brick, one breath, one act of courage at a time. And eventually you'll look back and realize that the very things that once shattered you became the reason you rose stronger than ever before. Because every ending carries the seed of a new beginning. Every closed door points you toward a better one. Every heartbreak makes space for healing. Every failure clears the path for clarity. Nothing in your life has been wasted. Not the pain, not the waiting, not the losses. Everything has been shaping you for the next version of your life. But you have to make the choice to begin again. You have to decide that you are worthy of new beginnings, even when you feel unworthy. You have to believe that your best days are still ahead, even when you can't see them yet. Because what you believe shapes what you build. If you believe you're broken beyond repair, you'll stop trying. But if you believe there's something beautiful waiting to be born from the ashes, you'll rise, you'll create, you'll fight for your joy again. And let me tell you this, the world needs your rebirth. The world needs the version of you that rises after falling, that smiles after crying, that rebuilds after breaking. That version of you carries light. That version of you carries power. That version of you gives hope to everyone still in the middle of their storm. Your comeback will inspire someone else's survival. Your healing will become someone else's hope. Your courage to begin again will be the reason someone else doesn't give up. That is the purpose behind your pain. That is the meaning inside your mess. That is the beauty of starting over. You don't just rebuild for yourself. You rebuild for everyone watching who thought they couldn't. So don't be afraid of the ashes. Don't be afraid of the unknown. Don't be afraid to let go of what's gone, because the new life waiting for you, the joy, the peace, the purpose, it's worth every ounce of faith it takes to begin again. You've been through too much to stay the same. You've outgrown the old version of yourself. It's time to rise. It's time to rebuild. It's time to remember who you are. You are not your past. You are not your pain. You are the rebirth after the fire. And no matter how many times life breaks you, you have the power to begin again as many times as it takes until your life becomes the masterpiece it was always meant to be. So take a deep breath, stand tall, and start again, because your next chapter will be your most powerful one yet.